Lock in. Something just clicked into place with the XRP Ledger, and almost nobody is treating it like the seismic shift it actually is. Most people in crypto, you know how they are. They're still arguing over narratives. But the quiet money, the real money, it's moving fast, deliberate, and it's institutional. Numbers that used to really sound impossible, they're now showing up as infrastructure here. And we're not talking about hype or promises. No, it's the reality of today. Wall Street, they're not watching anymore. They're not taking notes. They're positioning. Governments, they're not experimenting any longer. They're integrating. XRP is suddenly showing up in places it was never supposed to reach. Capital markets, settlement rails, sovereign banking corridors. But at the same time, you got to understand, something strange is happening in the ETF flows. A signal most people are missing out there. It raises an uncomfortable question about who actually understands utility in this market here between a strategic expansion into a massive financial hub and a stablecoin evolving into something more powerful than simply a digital dollar here. The pieces, they are finally locking in. This isn't about price predictions or nonsense. This is about why the broad market is really set for XRP dominance. Let's jump into it here. There's a lot to go over. We see this first thing. Institutional demand for XRP is reaching a fevering pitch. You have to compare it to really the market right now. We're not in some breakout bull run, but when you compare XRP versus its contemporaries, it is dominating. We see Bitwise, Canary, Franklin Templeton, all seeing inflows here with total NAV hitting 1.36 billion. XRP ETFs have now generated 1.24 billion in cumulative inflows since their late 2025 launch. The XRP utility proposition is officially catching the eyes of Wall Street. And again, this is at a time when it's not been great for crypto. We are seeing outflows. We are seeing outflows for Bitcoin. Look at this chart. We are seeing outflows for Ethereum. And you see XRP gaining steam. What do you think is going to happen when this market turns to growth? When people are no longer scared, panicking, hiding? What's going to happen to XRP? You know what's going to happen. You see it already building. It's no joke here. And we are smashing the most important metric there is, 2 billion in tokenized assets. This is what's going to fuel growth in crypto, and XRP is dominating. As confirmed by Ripple's Luke Judges, the network doubled its RWA market cap in from December 2024 alone in 1 year. This isn't growth, it's institutional acceleration. The blueprint, well, it's stablecoins, of course, RLUSD and Circle and others, of course. U.S. Treasuries up big, 2,800%. Open Eden with T-bills and Archax. Hundreds of millions in tokenized funds are incoming. Capital markets will come on chain. The job's not done till they are fully fledged, deep, and mature ecosystems, and that's happening. This is where you want to see growth. Now, make no mistake, 2 billion is not dominant in blockchain, but the growth is. And when you're investing, that's all you care about. You care about year-over-year growth. How fast is your money growing? How fast is adoption growing? And just always remember, the XRP Ledger, it was built from day one to be exactly this, the RWA chain, and that is going to be probably the biggest growth factor in 2026, and XRP is the fastest growing blockchain out there in the most important metric. Saw this, put this up here. The XRP community has everything it needs. This is from Santiago Velez, co-founder of the Zhao. It's interesting. He's talking about, look, there's 1 million holders out there. We got everything you could possibly need. Software engineers, attorneys, contractors, every walks of life. Connect them and sparks will fly. That's the point of the Zhao, the Zhao Hub, of course, to bring all of these real-world builders, investors, and users together. So if something's done on the XRP Ledger, or something's done on blockchain, it's done on the XRP Ledger. That's what's important. It's interesting. Today, I needed some electrical work done in my office. And this guy came out and he told me, hey, stop. I know you. And I'm like, oh, no, what is this about? And he's like, I know you from YouTube. And what was so cool about that was not that someone recognized me from YouTube, but, in crypto, we think that it's just an online thing. It's just some strange people and, different dark corners of the internet. And in reality, everyday people, every walk of life out there, business owners, professionals like this guy, man, he did a great job. Fair price. I was really impressed. I give him a plug, but probably doesn't want me to spread his name around here. But man, the guy did an excellent job, and it was cool to meet in real life another XRP community member. They're all around you. You just don't know it. This community is growing by the moment, and Santiago is right that we got everything. Anything you could want, we got it in this community. It is large, it is global, and we just need a good way to connect everyone. And you will see an explosion of growth in the XRP Ledger for retail apps and all sorts of new use cases that can complement everything Ripple and all the other institutional builders are doing here. RLUSD, it's no longer just a stablecoin, it's an institutional settlement layer. Following its milestone Binance listing, and that's a big one. You want liquidity in this stablecoin for it to be useful, for it to grow. RLUSD is seeing rapid enterprise adoption. BlackRock, VanEck, they have chosen XRP Ledger as redemption option for the treasury funds. That's going to be big. You got your money in a treasury. You need instant liquidity. You need to use that funds now. You can cash out to the XRP Ledger. Fast, efficient, cheap. That's what it's all about. MasterCard, Gemini, pilot programs for card transactions on the XRP Ledger. We're also seeing humanitarian aid, adoption by the World's Central Kitchen and water.org for cross-border payments. You're seeing a lot happen. Real-world utility here, fully regulated, monthly attestations, and 103% reserve ratio. This is the gold standard for compliant digital dollars. It's going to be so important when Ripple gets that banking license. And you're going to be able to take the XRP Ledger and pipe it in directly to the Fed. I don't know what to tell you, man. When you look at the past, the issue was when you had to buy XRP in the open market, send the payment, and sell it on an exchange. The buy and the sell on exchanges is full of costs. It's full of inefficiencies. Now you're going to be piped right into the Fed, have essentially direct, instant, free liquidity. You don't think that's going to drive adoption? You don't think that's going to drive the value of XRP, the usage of XRP? This is the Trojan horse, people. The stablecoin does not take anything away from the XRP Ledger. It just upgrades everything and in a big way. And we're going to see mass adoption as this continues to build out. We see the core banking revolution is here. Ripple partnering with DXC Technology to integrate digital asset custody, RLUSD, and payment capabilities directly into Hogan core banking platform. Now, this is no joke. Looking at a pretty big scale here, right? 300 million accounts, 5 trillion in deposits globally. Seamless integration. Banks can now offer digital asset services without replacing their system. They're not losing anything. They're just gaining capability. That's going to be very attractive to people as they go to adopt this technology. The bridge creating the last mile connectivity between traditional finance and digital asset ecosystems. Modernizing banking infrastructure just got a lot better. Now, I'm reading a lot of these stories here from XRP Daily News, XDM. The handle is XRP News 589. What this is my main X account, the Jungle Link account. I just try to put clips and videos and really, what I think is exceptional posts, right? And I use this handle for my notes for the show like I used to use my main account for. So if you're someone, not everyone likes that stuff, but if you like to read the stuff throughout the day, as I'm thinking about stuff, as I read something, I put my notes up here. You're welcome to follow that if you want. It's just literally an account for me to put my notes and keep my Jungle Link X account separate for what I think is really novel and amazing content that I'm putting out. XRP Iceman, he gave me, believe this, man, this guy, good friend of mine for a long time, met him through the XRP community, a long-time supporter of the channel. He gave me $100 super chat, and I didn't notice it. How rude is that? I didn't say thank you, but really thank him for all the years of support, and of course that super chat that I never brought up. What a wonderful thing that was. Thank you so much. I try to keep an eye out for that. YouTube doesn't really do a good job of notifying you, but that was an amazing donation by XRP Iceman. Thank you for that super chat, and just thank you for being a great community member throughout all the years. Major milestone for the Middle East here. Ripple is officially partnering with Jeel, the innovation arm of Riyadh Bank, to accelerate Saudi Arabia digital transformation. This is Ripple's most significant expansion in the region to date, directly supporting Vision 2030. Now, this is great. One day, we're having some big announcement in Asia. Then the United States, Saudi Arabia, this is global. This is global in scale, and this is how you build a global payment network. You can't ignore anything. Of course, a very important region for cross-border payment flows. bringing optimization, bringing digital asset custody infrastructure to the region. This is going to be huge for growth in crypto, XRP, and Ripple, the company. Now, we saw this from Patrick Witt. Now, he is with the White House, executive director for the president to crypto. He works just under David Sachs. And what he says, look, the banking sector right now, they're panicking. Blockchain, it's not coming. It's here now. They are starting to understand that. He says first they dismiss it, then they realize how important it is, and they start to panic. That's where we are right now. And it's really their job to educate, to bring them into the fray here and understand that they need to leverage this technology too. You're not going to regulate it out of existence. This is the future that they can offer the same products and services and have the cost savings and be more competitive themselves. And that's what it is. They're not just educating banks on blockchain. They're building those foundations that they will need to adopt this technology. The United States, they are going all in here. They have to be competitive in global financial systems. This is the future, and it's all coming together. You see it globally from Europe, Asia, Middle East. It's all coming together at once. South America is amazing. Just a ton of crypto action there. Everyone is converging here. This is the future of finance, and there is no slowing this train. I thought this was interesting. You can listen to it on X, so a clip here. But this is the CEO of Anthropic, and he had an interesting warning. He says AI might have motivations that, well, we don't trust. He said really the problem here is when they're building artificial intelligence, it's not really like programming. It's more like growing a plant or raising an animal. It's unpredictable. They don't really know what they're doing. This is wild. We live in the most interesting of times, of course. And again, if you want, not a big deal, but you can follow my notes account there on X, XRP Daily News XDM. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.